Hi, Chef Joe with Healthy Kids Inc. and today we're going to be making a cheesy lasagna rolls. So the first thing you want to do, we're going to get our sauce on. I've got a little bit of oil heating in the bottom of this pan here, and this is going to be a really simple marinara. So I'm going to bring this up just under medium-high, so just right at medium for this, because we don't really have anything that needs sauté. Now you could use fresh garlic, but we're actually going to use a bunch of dried spices here today to make this kind of a quick and easy marinara to throw together. So we've got our canned diced tomatoes and all of their liquid that we want to throw in, first and foremost. And then I'm going to take a heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. Going to add a little bit of honey. Pinch of salt, fresh cracked black pepper, and we're also going to use some dried oregano, some dried basil, garlic powder. Now if you were using fresh garlic, all you'd have to do is saute up a couple of cloves that you finely chopped and just a little bit of oil for a couple of minutes, and then throw your tomatoes and everything in on top. And we're also going to use some minced onion. Alright, so now we're just going to give all of this a stir. Okay, now you can take the back of your spoon and kind of smash up some of these larger pieces of tomato. We can blend this down a little bit with our immersion blender, or even throw it in a food processor when we're done. So you don't really have to worry about it too much, but you can kind of start that process just using the back of your spoon and kind of pressing them against the side of the pan. Now at this point, really all you have to do now is kind of let this come up to a nice simmer. Keep giving it a stir, make sure nothing's sticking on the bottom, and let this simmer from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour if you have it, but 30 minutes is more than enough time. But again, as with anything like this, sauces, soups, if you have more time, take it. This is something you can make days in advance and make batches and freeze it, so you actually have a lot of options when it comes to this. So we're just going to let ours come up to a simmer. Cover it and we'll check it in just a little bit. Alright, so we're ready to begin cooking our noodles for our lasagna. Recipe calls for 8 to 10, we have 12 here, so we'll just go ahead and do those just in case we need a couple extra. We're going to cook these just slightly under, just enough that we'll be able to roll them for our application, but they'll finish cooking in the oven. I've got my pot of boiling salted water with just a splash of oil on the inside. We have our colander setting in the sink ready for when these come out. Pop a lid back on these. Let this cook for 8 to 10 minutes, probably closer to 8 for this application. Alright, so our noodles have cooked to the point that we need them to. We just need them to be pliable and soft enough to roll. You don't want to overcook them because you are going to finish them in the oven. You can see that these are already malleable. So we're going to drain these off. Alright, so our sauce is simmered away for a good half an hour. You can see it's already thickened up. Some of the tomatoes have broken down. You could leave it like this if you wanted to, if you like it a little bit chunkier. We are going to blend it down slightly. So we're going to let it cool for just a few minutes, and then we'll blend it up with the immersion blender. Alright, so we're going to give our marinara sauce a little whirl under the immersion blender. Start to pulse it up. Really whatever consistency that you feel most comfortable with. Alright, nice and blended. So we'll let this cool just a little bit more, and then we'll begin to assemble our lasagna. Okay, so we're ready to begin assembling our lasagna rolls. So what we're going to do, put a tablespoon of ricotta. I'm just going to kind of spread it out with the back of my spoon. Just want an even layer, like so. And we want some of our marinara. We're going to put some spinach in there, and you can tear this by hand, you can chop it, really whatever you'd like to do. That. And then you want to roll them. So I like to come at them from one end. You can kind of roll them as tight or as loose as you'd like. Like this, until you've got a nice bundle. There should be enough starch on your pasta itself that it'll stick. If it doesn't, you can use a little bit of the ricotta. And then you begin placing them in your dish, seam side down, just on the off chance that they might try to unroll. And we can repeat the process. So, drop of ricotta, then you want to spread it out. Marinara. Spinach, and we'll roll it. Again, it's okay if you get a little bit of sauce that squirts out. Place it seam side down. Alright, so we've assembled our cheesy lasagna rolls, and now we're going to spoon some sauce over top. Alright, now we're going to top it with mozzarella cheese. Alright, we're going to pop this into the oven at 400 degrees. Alright, so we have our lasagna here out of the oven. The cheese is nice and melted. Our sauce smells great. It all looks good, so we'll let this cool slightly and we'll plate it up and show you the finished product in just a few minutes.